On the bench, a Kenmore 1802. This is a super high shank, left homing zigzag machine. It takes the Kenmore C-cams under this door. It's got one built-in stretch stitch. Otherwise, it has a blind hem, zigzag, and then setting for the buttonhole attachment for this machine. I don't believe it's got built-in buttonhole cams, but under the door here it's got the lever to crank the buttonhole attachment and monogram attachment for these machines. It also has a convertible needle plate, which I guess there's a lock here that you shift to the right, and then the needle plate will pop out, and you can rotate it for straight stitch or zigzag. And then when you put it back, just make sure that you flip your lock back to the left. Otherwise, it is a Class 15 front load machine. Bobbin winder is on top here. It's an automatic bobbin winder. Clutch nut on the end. Like most Class 15 machines, this is the bobbin winding tension button. So you wrap your thread around the front and back over to bobbin wind. For regular threading, there is a guide on the back of the machine here, guide on the front of the machine. The thread comes out around the side of the tensioner. It has to pop up under the finger, and the spring on the tensioner. There's a thread guide above the tensioner. Goes through the take-up arm, through that tensioner, or that thread guide, and then it's got a pair of thread guides here, a pair of thread guides on the needle clamp, and the machine threads from front to back. Just like a lot of the other Kenmores that have double needle stitching capability, it's got the double thread guides on the bottom here. This machine has the needle clamp screw on it that takes the tiny screwdriver to set the needle, but otherwise it takes standard needles. And then it's got the zigzag width, or S for straight stitch, on this dial. This SML dial is actually your stretch adjustment. So this is the balance on your stretch stitches. It got moved from the back of the machine to the front on this one. This dial is your stitch length with a reverse button in the middle, and then stitch selector here, straight, zigzag, and then it's got a triple stitch, the stretch stitch, the cam selector, and the blind stitch and buttonhole. The button here for your feed control to retract the feed dogs for darning, and the power and light button there.